So I just turned 40. Life-changing number. Recommend. 10 out of 10. And I was really inspired by videos and essays I saw about 40 lessons at 40. And this, what I've made, is like a little bit of lessons and advice at 40. So some things that I've picked up along the way at this ripe old age of 40. Let's just get started. So we are working with the light that we have and not the light that we want, but we will proceed. Hi, my name is Kate. If you've not stumbled upon this page before, I did some thoughts before 40. Didn't get everything that I wanted out, but I'm starting a new chapter of at 40. Here's some lessons and advice that I've kind of jotted down quickly. The first one for me is that at a certain point in life, you realize that the days are long, but the years are short, and you just don't have a lot of time to fuck around much any longer. They say it's because of a diminishing sense of novelty. Like as you grow older, you get less and less experiences, new experiences. And I would say, try not to let that happen. Always seeking new experiences. Stay curious, because at the end of the day, we just don't have a lot of time, and you start to realize how much time you've wasted. You've put things off. I know that you can't live your best life like every single day, because we got bills and income caps that prevent you just balling to the walls or whatever with good times. When you can do it, make life worth it, whatever that means to you. It's against popular belief that everything needs to be big and extravagant and Instagram worthy, to make you happy, to bring joy. I'm here to tell you that it's the little things in life, the little joys in life that sustain you or sustain joy. It's the little things that sustain joy throughout your life, you know what I mean. Number 2, whatever it is, resolve it, move on. Okay? I used to have an incredibly bad habit of dwelling on my past, and my mother would always be try to press upon me, dwelling on your past does not serve your future. You need to be present and thinking about your future moves and things like that. And funny enough, this woman would be the one that would teach me to think of the worst case scenarios in the future. She wasn't one that dwelled on the past, but she was one that dwelled on the future. So she would just think of all the worst case scenarios that could happen. And so I would dwell on the past and think about the worst of the future. And it was just like a big old mess. Okay. But resolve whatever it is that keeps you up at night. Take notes, take the lessons that you can get from it, and just move on. Sitting and dwelling about I should have done this, or I should have, I wish this hadn't happened to me, or if I would have done this and XYZ, everything would be all in its place or whatever, and this, that, and you can't change the past. You can't do anything about it. Reliving your life over and over and over again, does you no good unless you've taken something from it. If you've taken something from it, move on. Okay, take your lesson. And in extreme cases, if it is a real issue that you just can't resolve on your own by moving on, then seek professional help. But however, most shit in life is just the same bullshit most people go through, and we've all had fucked up families. Our families are all dysfunctional in their own right. We've all gone through some bad times. We've made bad decisions. We've done fucked up things. Fucked up things have happened to us. At a certain point in your life, it is no longer constructive or cute to be blaming your parents and your upbringing and situations that happened 5, 10, 15 years ago, because what does that have to do about right now? What does that have to do about your free will and your ability and motivation and hard work and yada yada? It doesn't, it's yes, this bad things happen to it, learn from it, move on, or seek professional help. Your past relationships do not determine what's gonna happen in your future relationships unless you're just dumb and cannot learn, how to pick them or whatever, or how to stay out of toxic relationships. And again, then if that is the case, seek professional help. But most cases, you can sit down, have a hard conversation with yourself, take away a little nugget of knowledge, and move on with your life. Yes, sometimes fucked up shit, such, bad things are gonna happen to you, or that you've done, or whatever. Sometimes there's no knowledge to be taken, and it's just a fucked up situation, and that's it, and you have to move on. So deal with it, move on. Number 3 on the list of Kate's advice and life lessons: people come and go throughout your life. You are with you forever. Okay? People show up for seasons, reasons, a job, proximity, a situation, whatever. People come and out of your life. Is a beautiful thing, and it's a sad thing all at the same time. But you be staying with yourself forever. and ever and ever and ever. And so you need to develop, invest, care more about the relationship you have with yourself. No relationship is more important than the relationship that you have with yourself. As after school special corny that sounds, it is so goddamn true. And you may be looking at it in like this outsider view, but when I look at it, I think about the time of me being in middle school and choosing a friendship over my own self. And essentially, this relationship consumed me in a way that I was so much more invested in staying friends with her that I didn't join sports and I didn't do the after school activities that I wanted to do because she deemed them corny, and I wanted to be in her good graces. At the time was my best friend, but now I can look back and be like, nah, that bitch was a bully, and I was imagining that my bully was my best friend in that sense. I take a lot of responsibility for that relationship because I am the one that stayed, but I'm just saying that I was investing more in our relationship than I was investing in like developing my own personality, developing my own identity by experiences of like joining school activities that I wanted to join, but I deemed her cooler and like really wanted to be her best friend, and I made the detrimental mistake of putting this relationship on a pedestal, and my studies suffered for it, and it would kind of be like this ominous thing about what my future would look like or how my future would unravel. People come and go, and you stay with yourself forever. So make sure you develop a personality and identity of your own, that you really invest in yourself more than others. And you may not realize that you're investing in a romantic relationship more than you're taking the time to keep yourself up to date, investing in yourself, because you're always gonna return your investment, and there's no guarantee that the relationships that you build with people are going to continue to be worth the cost that you put into them. And I'm not saying that like don't ever make friends and don't invest in relationships. That's not at all what I'm saying. I think it's healthy and important that you invest in the relationships that you have, because how else are you going to create intimacy and create connection and create a bond that's worth sticking around as a life partner or as a close friend for the rest of your days. So like investing in relationships is important, yes, but you should be first and foremost. Long-winded, but number 4, confidence is not a personality trait. It's not something that you are like born with. This is not something that is just comes naturally. Delusional confidence is what a lot of people call crazy. Okay. Confidence is something that comes after the thing, Confidence is a skill. You learn it, you build it, you develop it. Using the excuse that you don't have confidence, that's why you're not doing a damn thing, or you don't have confidence, that's why you're not experimenting here or exploring this or whatever have you. Like, you're doing yourself a great disservice, and you're not realizing that confidence comes after doing the damn thing. It is with experience and with the knowledge and with all of that comes the ability to feel real confidence. But sometimes you gotta fake it until you make it. And that is really what confidence is all about. Number 5, you are never where you want to be until you're not there anymore. And I mean that because that sounds kind of crazy when you say it out loud like that. Maybe should have thought that one through. It just goes back to the days are long, but the years are short, and not much outside of sickness and death and maybe incarceration, because that shit's rough. This shit's not that serious outside of those things, And enjoy life as much as you can. As corny and after school special as it sounds, generic and repetitive, be present. I cannot express to you how deep I feel this in my bones, that you must be present in the moment and stop waiting to get to the next stage. Because we're all anxiously waiting to get to the next stage of life. Unless you're dying, then we really just can I have a bit more time? We take for granted the life that we're living in when we're so anxious to get to the next step. And I have another little antidote, a little story of why I feel this way, why this is so important and I feel this deep in my soul, is that the last few years that my mother was alive, I was really anxious to get to the next step. I was finishing up school and trying to get prepared in language courses so that I could get into the German system, finally get integrated, make this life I always wanted in Germany, fully be integrated. And in that time, I was bitching and complaining a lot about, and being anxious and not being happy within the space that I was in at that moment because I wanted to get to the next stage. I was like ready to go and stuff. And some of those times were good, you know, like they were just like, yeah, I'm so excited. I just can't wait to get started. And other times were like much more, because I was a little bit behind in life, which is another story. I was like, yo, you know, like this shit's got to happen right away. The days are long, but the years are getting shorter, you know, like I need to get my shit together because I'm ready to live my life and stuff. Right when that stage was gonna happen for me, like I was like going on job interviews. I had finished up my bachelor's, my language courses were going great. Like I was starting to apply for jobs in the German system, and I was like very much on my way. And all of a sudden, poof, my mom died. And my world fell apart. And not in just the sense of like, yes, of course, my mother, my only parent, my best friend, my confidant, my mentor, this woman that had been so many things to me, was all of a sudden gone with little to no warning. Like I know she was sick, but so unexpected that it threw my world upside down. But then also my husband took a job in America and we started this whole new life. Somewhere I hadn't even imagined was going to be a possibility or something that I wanted to do. Like this was not a choice that I had ever had on my top 5, top 10 things, places, like experiences I wanted to have where I wanted to live. And so here I had been fussing and griping and whining and crying and losing precious time with my mother, being harped on something that was way ahead, like somewhat ahead of my future. And I hadn't gotten there yet. And I was going to eventually get there as long as I stayed doing what I was doing, like working hard, you know, stayed focused on my goals, stayed focused on the plan at large or whatever, and just like really enjoyed the time that I had with my mom. I look back and I'm like, I regret like all that hoopla over something that was never even going to happen, while I had expectations that this was going to, you know, I was never going to leave Germany and stuff, and like this was going to be my life. Circumstances changed, and what I had been bitching and complaining about was pointless. It was absolutely pointless at that time. And while I'm not saying the last few years of my mom's life was horrible and no good, and like, you know, it wasn't that way at all, but like I could have more time, and I didn't want to be in that stage in my life, you know, but at that time, in that moment. But right now, I would trade everything right now to be in that stage, in that life, in that moment, just to have a little bit more time with my mom. So now I realize that enjoying the stage that you're in, enjoying being in the present, and just going through the motions, and you'll get there when you get there. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you'll get there. And you'll always look back at like you took for granted that time in your life, and you'll regret not appreciating the time you had with the people, places, and the things, like even things like food, drink. Like I miss Christmas markets in Germany and things like that. Soak up all the experiences when it is there at the time. Like take the opportunity, because you'll wish you had, or you wish you were back in that moment. Soak it up for all it is, and don't allow feelings and problems to stand in the way of good times. And that leads me next to like my next one, number 6, is don't be a Debbie Downer. We all have fucking problems. Your problems are not more important than other people's problems, nor are they like unique and interesting. If you're always just angry and mad at the world, like it is a repellent. People don't want to be around that, and it really just closes you off from the possibilities to the chances of life, because people aren't, you know, welcoming you into places. And if you're sitting in the corner all like, we boss, you know, the world is against me, and just being silly about everyday problems, things like some people have real problems, you know, they're fighting diseases that are killing them, they're living in pure unadulterated fucking poverty. Their real life situation is that starvation may be the end of them, you know. So like you have to stop and think, like, are my problems really that serious? And am I walking around being a stank ass bitch and ruining everybody's good time, or just being like this dark negative like aura in the room, like totally fucking setting the vibes off? It's and not in a good way. It's not worth it, and you're just like, you're wasting your own good time, you know. So just like let it go. Do not bring your problems around other people and trauma dump or problem dump on people, unless like these are friends and you're trying to work something out. Like just don't be the constant Debbie Downer. Everybody can have problems, should be welcomed from their friends to unload those problems and talk through them and work through them and like get advice and constructive criticisms and things like that. But don't be a Debbie fucking Downer, a negative Nancy. Don't be shitting all over people's good time. It is a waste of time. It's not good for your mental health, and quite frankly, it's not good for everybody's mental health. So like, fine if you want to be fucking miserable, but like, try not to make everybody else around you fucking miserable, because like I said, days are long, years are short, and you're gonna look back and be like, damn, I wasted all that fucking time being a stank ass hoe. Number 7, simple. If he wanted to, he would. You ladies in your 20s and your 30s and even your 40s, hear this one. When I was in my 20s, I had an older gentleman who lived just down the street from me, and we worked at the same place, and he would often offer me a ride if he was going back home, and we'd have these like heart-to-heart talks, because the man was wise, been through some shit, very cool guy. He knew my boyfriend at the time, and he knew the distance situation. We were doing a long distance thing or whatever, and yada. I was talking through all these problems, and I'm like, and I'm just having this hope that this man loves me. Okay, and then he just gonna do some grand love gesture, and that everything was gonna be all right. And this man was honest and direct, and he said if he wanted to, he would. And this man had no alternative motive. It wasn't like this. He wasn't trying to get in my panties. This guy was more friends with my boyfriend than me. Like, I only knew this guy through my boyfriend. He meant it respectfully. He didn't mean it against my boy. He wasn't trying to paint my boyfriend at that time as a bad person. He was really just trying to save me and tell me how it was. And I took that little nugget of advice and I put it in my back pocket, and I was just wishing and hoping that relationship, once it ended, and like that advice always stuck in my head, and it has never done me wrong. You don't need to beg them to love you back. Number 8, if you wanted to, you would. In our 20s, we have a lot of ambition. We are just like filled with the possibilities of life. We are just like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this, and this, all by the time of this, and this, okay? Some things pan out. Some things require other people's involvement, or, like gatekeepers. And if you wanna get married, you need to actually find somebody who wants to marry you. Or like, if you wanna have babies, then you gotta find somebody who wants to have babies with you. Or like, you wanna be a successful, like, corporate baddie, you need somebody to, ahead of you to like promote you and stuff. So some things that you want in life will require other people's approval, I guess, is the best way that I can sum it up in a nice box. As you start to get older, these things that you've gone on and on and on about that like you wanted to do that you may have not gotten around to, because one, life be getting complex and complicated because bitches gotta work, people gotta like do things, it's just raise children. Some of the things that we want to do most, we're not financially capable of doing in our younger years, or like it's something that's gonna take a lot of saving and planning to do. And so like you start, as you get older, I would say like your mid 30s, you're like, oh, I want to do this, and this. And you're like, bitch, I can do this and this because, charge it. You can make the plans more solidly to like go on that vacation you always want to do, or jump out of that airplane, or whatever it is, that this bucket list. Now in my 40s, like I'm like, do the damn thing. But I always wanted to write a book. So here I am, another crack at it, because I have tried in the past, and computers have completely died, or writer's block has come, and never got it done. So here I'm trying to making a real effort to make time for myself to write and to like explore this thing that's weighed on my head since like elementary school, that I'd like to write a book. Maybe I never get it published, but I'd like to get it done. I'd like to say, hey, I did it. I wanted to, I grew up in Germany, and I forever wanted to master the German language. So I'm sitting down with my books, German for Dummies, and like the grammar. Like I'm really digging into this. I'm gonna get it right this time. I'm not gonna just parrot. I'm not just gonna learn by like listening to other people and picking things up. I'm gonna really get to the roots of the grammar so that I can be very competent in the German language. As you get older, you just start to say at a certain point you have to be about it or shut the fuck up about it. Drawn to like taking a crack at some things that you've, thought about over decades of your life. So it's a really interesting time. You start exploring ideas so far back as like your childhood that like that would be really cool. And then, you know, sometimes you throw those ideas away because you're like, I was a child and that sounded cool at the time, not so cool now. And quite frankly, I think it's a way to keep life a little bit like spicy. Number 9, a lot of decisions in life come down to quality or quantity. My advice, choose quality every single time. Friends, clothes, food, whatever. Quality over quantity beats it every time. Number 10, and this might hurt a lot of people's feelings. A lot of your issues can be resolved with better sleep, better diet, better attitude, being more active. When in doubt, walk it or dance it out. You'll feel better. Fight the funk. Don't let the funk fight you. And again, if it's that damn serious, seek professional help. Seek professional mental health. But most of your issues can be resolved by more sleep, better food, being a little bit more active, and getting your mind right. It's all about mindset a lot of the time, and you can trick yourself into going down the road and being a Debbie Downer, or you go spin that shit around, turn that frown upside down, and get on with your life. I choose get on with your life. Number 11, just get up, get dressed, do the damn thing. This can be taken in like 2 different ways. Fighting the funk or whatever. I have had depressive episodes in my life, and I know through life lessons that getting up, shit, shower, shaving, like clean your booty hole, getting all dressed and ready to go and just doing the damn thing will slowly but gradually get you out of the funk. It is when you like lay in it and saturate in it that it just like, you just pass on. You're like, oh, I don't want to go out, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, like I'm just gonna waste away in my house. You are letting life pass you by. Just get up, get out, and do the damn thing. It'll inspire you. It'll make you realize that this thing called life ain't that bad. It's also in that regard of like, oh, I'm too tired, I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm too that, it's too complicated, it's too far, it's this, blah, blah, blah. When you think like that, when you're like, oh, I'm not up to it or whatever, it's like, unless you are like dying or dead or like really like super sick or whatever, make memories for your deathbed flashback. You do not want to be laying on your deathbed and see images of you just like laying around the house, scrolling through Instagram, scratching your ass in the kitchen while you're cooking eggs or whatever. Like, no, this is not, or have memories of other people's lives more than your own because you're just living in the world of social media. You are never aware it's the last time for anything. Like the last time you play at the park, the last time all your friends are together, you know, like your high school, college, whatever. It could be just like your bowling group or whatever, and then all of a sudden like Janie dies or Todd moves away or somebody almost got a divorce and you're not allowed to talk to them anymore. True story. You don't know the last holiday that you're gonna have with your mother or anybody for that matter, even if they're not sick. Things happen. Don't go just because they're sick and this could be their last Christmas. Go because you want to spend time with them, and if it was their last Christmas, thank fucking God you showed up, did the damn thing, and spent that last holiday with them, because you're gonna wish every holiday from then on that they were there. So get it together. When you're like throwing things off, you know, like canceling or just not being up to the task of life, like having a good time or whatever, you're missing out. You're not just missing out on the possible last time of whatever. You might be missing out on the first chance at something. You really don't know if that opportunity, that chance is ever going to come around again. And it could be something that you're not even aware of, you know? It's like meeting that significant other at an event that you were kind of like, I don't really want to do this, and almost bailed on. You know what I'm saying? The love of your life could have walked away and disappeared forever. You was just exhausted. Try not to miss out on life too much from being exhausted with the fucking obligations of life. And learn to know the difference between like fear of missing out, or is it you taking full advantage of an opportunity to hang out with people that you care about, or take an opportunity to have a great meal, or have an opportunity, an experience at a cool new place, doing a cool new thing, whatever. Like, don't miss out on cool shit for being lazy, not in the mood. Think it through before you cancel or bail on the best parts of life. Number 12, just do the damn thing. A clean, a tidy physical space, it really makes a difference. My advice is just to do it. Like, never go to bed without doing the dishes, no matter if you're sick, you're tired, or shit-faced, like drunk off your ass. Like, just do it. You will thank yourself in the morning. And this comes with everything. Like, just fold the laundry right away. Don't, like, why are we leaving it there? Unless it's like there's a case of emergency and like, we really gotta get out of here. Priorities, people. Like, just put shit away. Put shit away when you're done using it. Put it away. I understand something, it's gonna get a little cluttery. Sometimes things gonna get a little messy, but never dirty, never chaotic, never out of control. Okay, it's lived in, but it's not like chaotic. Okay, unless you got toddlers or like children and stuff, like it's a different story. You're gonna just have to clean up after them. And that is my advice of like at night, like 15 minutes before you go to bed, just like make sure everything is like put away and tidy and like prepare yourself for the next day. Don't be putting shit on your to-do list for tomorrow that you could do today, because you're making it worse for yourself. Like, you don't need all, like, putting things off never helped nobody, okay? And especially yourself. Make life easier for yourself and just tidy up after yourself all the time. It's a beautiful thing. The professionals say that it's good for you, so just do it. Number 13, save for retirement as soon as you possibly can and contribute as much as you can when you can. It'll make you sleep better at night. 14, fuck your feelings. Your feelings are temporary. And just because you love something, and it doesn't mean that you should hold on to it. Sometimes love is not enough, like is not enough. Just because you love something, someone, or someplace, it doesn't mean it's right for you. It doesn't mean that it's best for you. It's not enough to keep you satisfied. And love is hard to sustain alone. It's not gonna help you in the long run. Try not to lead with your feelings. They are often temporary, as I said, and making decisions based off only feelings lead to not being satisfied for very long. And when those feelings have changed, so you anger, you piss off, and you make all these decisions, you do all these things, and then all of a sudden you chill the fuck out 20 minutes later, and then you realize, well, damn, what did I just do? And some of those things cannot be reversed. And so never lead with your feelings. Think it out. Even those gushy, warm, fuzzy feelings, sometimes you need to look at the longevity of that, or like the sustainability of that, or what does that mean long term for you, and things like that. And like just not making decisions, negative or positive feelings that you might have. Decisions shouldn't be made on those feelings. So let's use our noggins before we make bad decisions. Emotional bad decisions. Number 15, if you never say no, then your yes really doesn't mean anything. And this really is more just a warning, a piece of advice that, like, I grew up hearing make yourself useful. So I always felt this need to be in service of others and put people before me, and this kind of people-pleasing bullshit will get you used and abused. It's really, in a simple, I should have just put it that way, standards and boundaries in your professional life and your personal life are healthy and necessary. Because if you're the yes woman or the yes man all the time, and then you try to say no, people will not take that for face value. They will press because they know that you are a yes person. And so it's really hard to break that image. And it's also very inauthentic in that you're not saying yes for the right reasons. You're just doing out of obligation, for likability, for whatever, like out of habit. So it just doesn't really mean anything when you say, yes, I'll be there, kind of thing. And it just gets used and abused. Number 16, the only things that you have to do in this life are die and pay taxes. Plan accordingly. Number 17, someone will always be richer than you, better looking than you, and more successful than you. Stay humble and keep your eyes on your own paper. Number 18, life is a never-ending stream of startovers. In new towns, cities, countries, jobs, careers, relationships, tastes, lifestyles, different versions of you. It's just nothing is permanent. And never believe you have to have it all figured out. Circumstances are most likely to change. As I said, I was working for this one, thing, and thinking that like that was going to be it for me, live the rest of my days, and then maybe like retire in another EU country of some sort. But shit changed, and I had to rearrange some shit to continue my life. Like, what was I going to do? Be like, oh, well, wibbles me and sit in the corner and be a Debbie Downer. No, you just have to start over again. And yeah, goals shift, minds change. As you live and experience, you might not love what you're doing or where your life is going, and you see something that interests you more or piques your curiosity, and you might have to start all over again. If you're brave enough to take the leap into something brand new. Don't ever think that life is just like, you got to have it all figured out, or that life is just going to be, you know, all these little milestones that you've planned out or whatever. Like, you sometimes have detours. Sometimes you can't get to your destination. Sometimes the transportation doesn't show up when it needs to. It's just like, there's a lot of elements that go into life, and starting over is just something that is gonna happen in all aspects of your life. No matter what, you break up, you gotta start a new relationship if you want to get married and have babies, or if you want to have a companion, you know, or if you want to be loved and love. Like, you're just gonna have to start over. You get fired, you gotta get a new job, or your career goes to shit, you lose it all, you gotta start over. You're gonna see many different versions of you if you're open to the possibility that life doesn't have to come out exactly how you want it to be. Because let me tell you, expectations will ruin a good time. Expectations allow opportunities and interesting lives to pass you by, because you are like, no, I gotta, you know, keep doing this thing. Because some people believe that they've dumped in all this time, energy, and money into something, and there's no going back, and expectations don't allow for you to take opportunities that come around. And sometimes that's the most interesting part of life, are the things that you didn't plan for, or that you didn't, you know that was going to happen, or that this opportunity or chance was going to come across your desk. So I'm just saying, sometimes it's not the worst thing in life to start over in your career, in your professional life in any capacity, or your personal life in any capacity. Sometimes start overs are the best things that happen to you, because you finally get an opportunity to live fully, more authentically. Don't be ashamed, and don't expect life to just be one happy-go-lucky trip down your milestone plan. Number 19, be careful defining yourself. This is a tricky way to say this. Or defining the person you hope to become in the future, is that you've given yourself a box now, and like, doesn't allow for any flexibility, new ideas, new experiences to shape you. Also, by having this like image of a person that you just have to be, and that you want others to see you as, will maybe have you seeking validation from other people for who you've become, or who you want to become. Like, identity is something natural. It comes from your experiences, and it's something that constantly shape shifts, if you will. Like, you grow into things and you grow out of things. You don't want to chase your whole life trying to be something that was never really right for you in the first place. Like, wanting to be a corporate baddie or something, and being hell-bent on that, and pushing away any other opportunities or chances to kind of explore something else. And then getting into the corporate world and realizing, like, even though you knew suits never looked good on you, you get into the corporate world and you're like, this is not at all what I want to do or what I want to be. You've spent all of this time rejecting anything else to influencing your identity, because you were just hell-bent on being this one particular person. I think it does you more harm than good. And just the more you learn, the more you change, the more you experience. It's something natural. Let it be. When you do that, you get to live many different versions of yourself, and it's pretty fucking cool. Just like, let nature take its course. And this number 20 kind of falls in with that, is that show, don't tell. If you feel the need, feel absolutely compelled to tell someone about yourself, like who you are, you're most likely not that person. You are trying too hard to convince them, and people get that. Like, people feel that when you're trying to tell people who you are, it comes off superficial, it comes off inauthentic. A rich person doesn't need to tell people that they're rich. Funny person doesn't need to tell people that they're funny. People in love don't need to tell people that they're in love. It shows, it reveals itself. People see it. Just be, and people will see who you are as a person, and trust in that. Stop trying to implant this like version of yourself in their mind, and like trying to convince yourself, or wanting to see yourself in that light too, because if they do, then you will. Like, that's just leave it alone and just be yourself. Number 21, people prepare you for all sorts of kinds of things. The first day of school, going to college, aging, dating, marriage, babies, divorce, buying a home, retirement. Like there's just so much that people prepare you for in life, and no one prepares you for when your parents their health declines, or God forbid, like they die at an age that's unexpected or like earlier than expected. And no one just like prepares you for what that's like to watch and to be part of that, and to be kind of a caretaker in those situations. No one prepares you for like what all is entailed after someone goes to the big party on the other side. Like there's so much to do to close up people's affairs, and if like you're like me, where you come from a single parent household, then like it's the child's responsibility, the kid's responsibility to kind of close up your parents' affairs. And my like strongest advice for this is, even though it's a hard conversation, you need to be very serious and very demanding that your parents make a will, make a plan, sit down with them to know in case of a medical emergency, what is the plan? Even, not just in death, but like if in case like a health medical emergency happens, and what to do. Even if you have both parents, I would say know the plan, know it, because maybe you need to step in and help them take care of the closing of the affairs of your parent, their spouse. Settling someone's affairs while grieving is hard enough, but without a will and without like a solid like written out plan, and you're grieving, it's I don't wish it on my worst enemy. Is fucking rough, and I would just implore you to prepare yourself for when those times come of your parents becoming ill, and if you're going to be the caretaker, like prepare yourself for these things. It's very rough to see your parents so vulnerable and that, because they're they've been your hero, or they've been the strong one your whole life. They're the ones you run to in hard times, and now they really need you in their most vulnerable moment in their life. And so just get prepared for that, and prepare to know what is needed from you when your parents pass. Number 22, there is no such thing as first impressions, and you might, but rarely, you're able to like change someone's mind about this new version of you. In life or at work, and like in work, you set the tone, the day, the week, the month that you start there, and how you come to work. If you're that person's like always 110%, always a team player, they will never not hold you to that standard. That will be the expectation for you always. And if you slide, it won't be like, oh, is everything all right? Like we've noticed lately, like you're slipping up a little bit. No, it becomes resentment that you are not there to fill in the cracks when shit goes wrong, or to solve the problem that now becomes their problem. It was always your problem, but now it's their problem, and they don't like that, and they will take that out on you, and there's never a way to change that. Like you always have to meet their high expectations because you set that high expectation, if that makes any sense. And your friends and family don't always accept a new version of you. Like growing up, your high school friends don't always accept this new person that you've come back from college as, or they went away in college and came back, and you guys are completely different people. They don't think that they've changed at all, but they see all these changes in you and they don't like it, or they're just not used to it, and they want to hold you to this standard that they know you as, or like your family is awful and brings up things that you said and did at 8 or 15 years old when you're 30, and you're like, what does that got to do with the price of tea in China? Like, what does that got to do with right now? Like, I was a child, and nothing I said under the age of like 25 really fucking matters if we want to get serious about it. But if we, 18 and under, I think the slate is clean. It can be really hard to have people accept this new version of you. It's hard for people to see you in a different light when they've known you as one way, and if you have a different version of yourself, often in order to live out that new version of yourself, you have to kind of step away from family and friends. And it's that show not tell theory type thing, is that you just have to live in that new like version of yourself until people accept it. And the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. Good friends will stick around and they'll see you through all your different versions, and family will come accepting of it or whatever, or won't. Some people grow up and other people just get older. People will either love it or hate it, and that's where you're going to be losing people and gaining new people in your life. But just know that not everybody is going to stick around for the new you. Number 23, you're allowed to change your mind. Nobody likes a person who's like stubborn and stuck in their ways, and it comes with the same like idea of identity, like it's fluid, and you just can't be fixated on like one thing. You should be ever evolving. It's very unlikely that you're gonna completely, utterly change all of your views on life. I mean, unless you're in a cult and you leave it or something, or, that's a different thing. But changing your mind is not going against like everything you said or that you've thought or that you've stood for. It is really just taking in new information and also adapting to the world around you and understanding that like it's growth and not you losing your integrity or something. The only thing you have to do in this life is pay taxes and die. Number 24, reading will change your brain. Number 25, traveling will expand your mind. 26, learning another language will change your life. You don't always have to be nice, but it's usually best to be kind. When the kindness is mistaken for anything other than it is, don't stutter and say it with your whole chest and say what you mean. When your kindness is abused and you're teetering between people pleaser and everybody's bitch, it is time to reevaluate your life. You've gone too far and you'll never be able to come back from that. See number 22 in No Second First Impressions. Lead with kindness, but say it with your whole chest when needs be. 28, stop inviting the friend whose attendance is contingent on who is on the invite list. That person, the person who responds with an invite from you with a who else is going to be there or who else is coming and like no, like yes, no, maybe so, is void of personality most of the time. And it's evident that they don't enjoy your company. Don't be that person. Be an active participant in the life of the party. And while I am not the life of the party, I know that shit don't start until I get there. If a guest needs to know in what way they were going to be entertained, then they are obviously not that entertaining. They are not worthy of a place setting. So don't send the invite because they don't bring anything to the table. 29. I've never met anyone who was upset at a small and intimate wedding. I do know a lot of people whose wedding guests are now just people they used to know or barely knew at the time. People I've seen who have had extravagant and over-the-top weddings have led mediocre lives, like marriages, or ended in divorce. And I just want to know, who are we showing off for? Number 30, don't freak out about getting older. Just take good care of yourself. Eat well, be active, live a good life, find joy. Marvel at the strength and the abilities of your body as you get older instead of dwelling on the aging process. Invest in caring for your skin. Sure, do the products, eat well, exercise will help that, and just don't go bonkers. You have to have limits, and there is no end. When does it end? When does it end? Number 31, wrong and strong is never a good look. Be able to admit that you fucked up. Admit that you lied. Admit that you changed your mind. Be mature enough to acknowledge that you were wrong in whatever situation or you did something or whatever. If it's your fault, take responsibility. The truth and being honest is like nearly orgasmic. It's very liberating. You have nothing to carry around, nothing to hide, nothing. It is just freeing to be able to be honest and truthful and go about your day. 5 stars. Number 32. You don't need to be fucking Martha Stewart, but learn to cook a few good few dishes, You don't have to do everything well, but do a few things well. 33. Ask better questions. In all areas and aspects of your life. I mean, ask yourself better questions, ask the people around you better questions. Like, get rid of this, like, what do you do for a living? Ask better questions, more interesting questions, and ask questions above you. The people in power, these are the people you should really get detailed, more creative questions. I question everything I read, I watch, I listen. I just ask better questions now. As I'm getting older, I continue to do so. And I go back to this like Nickelodeon news thing where she was like, always ask the who, what, when, where, and why. But most importantly, always ask yourself, who is in charge here? That has led me down a lot of rabbit holes, but good advice nonetheless. So ask yourself, who is in charge here? Because I'd like to know. I really do. It's getting a little scary, to be honest. Number 34. Everything in moderation. Extreme attached to anything is just not good. Extreme dieting, extreme exercising, extreme drinking, extreme whatever. Anything taken to the extreme is never good. Look at CrossFit. Perfect example of going too far to the extreme. Number 35. Plan your weekend the weekend before or the Monday before, and you will waste little time on a Saturday morning. Your 48 hours of fun and freedom is waiting for you, planned and ready to go. You're not asking like, what are we gonna do, blah, blah, blah. By 1 o'clock, the day is gone, and you have less time to, I don't know, enjoy your life. I'd say get like errands that you can get done like out of the way, like do the dreaded grocery store run on a Wednesday and a Thursday. We do not give up on a Friday. We do not do these things on a Friday because Fridays, my God, are for the great exhale. And this day, this Fridays that we enjoy, not only is the smell of freedom in the air, it is almost even better than the weekend of Friday is, because there's just so much potential in the air. And you do not want to ruin that Friday with the dreaded grocery run. Thursday night be finito. And it doesn't have to be like you come home and clean the house all in one night. Like you can spread this responsibilities of sustaining yourself as an adult throughout the week. You can get that, divided up throughout the week and get it done. You're looking at a fun-filled weekend. It doesn't have to be jam-packed. Maybe it's just once a month you do something out of the ordinary. And out of the ordinary, I mean like maybe you go bowling because that's not something you do. Or maybe you go mini golfing because that's like not something you do. Or maybe you go to the pool. Or maybe you I don't know, figure it out. It's something you don't do that might be like, I don't know, change of scenery, do a little activity, have a little, fun. You can plan these things out a week in advance, a month in advance if you want to get like real serious about it, and like have your and I will say you can get a little too ambitious when you do it a month ahead and you be like, oh, we're gonna be doing all this and blah blah, and you planning shit on like a weekday and stuff or whatever. I ran me and my husband ragged one time trying to be like, oh, we fun and shit. Like sometimes you're just old and like you just need a little dashes, little dribbles of fun here and there to like sustain you, because like in my 20s I could go for days. Make sure you like sneak in a little bit of joy once in a while, instead of just like running errands or cleaning your house, whatever, just try to really plan a better quality of life for yourself. It does wonders. Stress-free, fun-filled weekend. I'm all about it. Number 36. If you have prepared outfits in your closet, you are ahead of the game. We want quality over quantity. So it's okay if you only have a handful of good outfits. Like even better, you don't need a lot of clothes. You just need enough to get you through the week and on special occasions and things like that. So I've learned that like I just need that one formal winter and one formal like spring summer dress. And it's nice to have outfits already prepared in the closet. Just things that come up. You don't need to run somewhere, you don't need to think about it. You just like, oh, it's already ready, put together in my closet. This is wonderful too if you want to do it ahead of the week. Like I spend on a Sunday, usually I try to, sometimes some Sundays are better than others. I try to plan for the whole entire week instead of just the day before, because I just got to do it again tomorrow. Just get it done thing. If I plan for the week what to wear, that's one less thing I got to do 5 or 6 days out of the week. And if you're trying to get rid of decision fatigue, I implore you to use this because it just like, it changes your life. Number 37, uncomfortable shoes are just not worth it. They are just not worth it. And this goes back to that, like, sometimes you can love things and they're not good for you. I love a Steve Madden shoe, but them motherfuckers fuck my feet up every time, every single time. It's not worth it. I forget the woman's last name. Her name is Claudia. She's a popular host. She shared her story of getting her feet corrected after wearing, high heels and like just tight shoes and things like that or whatever. Her feet were just wrecked, and she's a gorgeous, vivacious woman, and she's got, some jacked up feet. Well, at the time, jacked up feet that she felt like, I think she also said that it hurt and that also it looked horrible, and so she couldn't even wear nice shoes anymore. And it's like back to that moderation, like everything in moderation. Yes, once in a while you want to throw on some high heels and like dip into it or whatever, but like let's be mindful, let's treat ourselves well, and let's stop cramming our feet into shoes that are going to inevitably cause us some issues later down in life, whether that be bunions or like I've seen where people's toes and things are just jacked up from wearing these shoes. We want to be sexy, we want to be, we want to find ourselves sophisticated or whatever. Like, is it worth it? I don't think so. My advice is that be comfortable. You know, that you can have a sense of pride of how you dress. You can be stylish and you can be sexy even. And it doesn't always need to be at the sacrifice of your comfortability, like being cold or just being packed in like a sausage. Women, I think, feel very obligated to dress a certain way, to pursue a certain femininity that is acceptable in society and also desirable. We be doing things that are not good for us, and this is one of them. And I just personally, I stopped before it was too late in jamming my feet into high heels. I really, because I'm short and I like to be tall, and I just wore heels all the time, thick, skinny, didn't matter. I just loved them, and I'd be jamming my feet into sizes, one size too small, because I really wanted those shoes and I really wanted that outfit. And it was just, it's terrible. I know. But that's why we have these rules of advice. Nobody had a good time in excruciating pain or pulling on their clothes or constantly being worried that the boobie gonna pop out and stuff. And it's just, yeah, like, I've never really enjoyed wearing short skirts for that purpose of like, I'm just so scared somebody's seeing my booty hole. Or, you know, not, I would be wearing underwear, of course, but it's just that I don't want to be shown. It's just like the fear of being embarrassed in such a way or exposing myself in such a way. It's just not how I want to go out. You know, I don't want everybody to see my fun bags and my cheeks, you know? So it's like, I ain't got a lot of fun bags to be shown, but still, I don't want my areola hanging out, because I've been there. I've been on the other side of that, sitting across somebody at a table who was wearing an outfit where her areola was just like out for the world to see, and it's very uncomfortable. It's just like, excuse me, yo, your titty, and it's embarrassing, and it's like, it's embarrassing for the person whose titty is hanging out. It's embarrassing for the person who has to tell the person whose their titty is hanging out. So I just like, comfortability is underrated, but in America, is overused. And like, I'm not down with this whole like sweatpants, spandex and stuff, because I think that like spandex is a whole other health problem waiting to happen. Like, if you have repetitive UTIs, like, try not wearing leggings for a little while, see what happens. We can still exude personality, style, taste, sexy, fun, whatever, through comfortable clothing. And I see some younger girls really warming to that factor, and I'm happy for it, because we don't deserve to be walking all hobbled and shit because of the excruciating pain we put our feet through to look cute and sexy. It's not worth it. 38. Let ChatGPT give you a meal plan for the week. And that's after you've carefully provided the criteria of, you know, allergies or diet requirements, things you'd like, what you don't like. It's beautiful. You type in all the stuff, go away for 20 minutes, you know, do something else with your life, you know, catch up on some reading. Of course, I forgot the most important part. Ask it to make a grocery list, to provide all the recipes. All of that is there and ready for you to go. You know, I would implore you to like review it before you just like run to the grocery store. Usually it's on point for the nation. Trying to cut decision making, get more time in your life, like be more organized. ChatGPT, planning out your meals, especially if you have like a dietary thing that you're working on, like if you're introducing more greens, more fruits, vegetables, whatever have you into your diet, like this is an ideal way to do it, where you have a collaborator. My creative ideas get a little dusty and I need some inspiration. And ChatGPT for meal planning is just the place that I find helps me, you know, think of new ideas about what we can make during the week, because it gets real boring eating the same shit all the time. So, and you can be like, I just want meals that are, you know, 20 minutes, 4 ingredients, 1 pot, whatever, one sheet. Like, you can get real detailed. So save yourself some time, some energy, some frustration. But thank me later. Number 39, read books. Read lots of books. And my advice, my recommendation, my life lesson is pick a book you're fascinated with, that is in your genre, like you're all about it, and then pick another one. You know, don't pick something you absolutely dread, but pick something that maybe you're curious about or something you don't know anything about. Just try to learn something. So I like to pick a book for pleasure and a book for a challenge or to learn something new. And number 40, never make your bed. When you wake up in the morning, pull your sheets back, all the way back. Let that mattress air out. Let the blanket air out even. If you can hang it outdoor, or if you're so brave, like to open up your window and let it hang out, let the air get in. But open your window after you get out of bed, air out for like 15 minutes or so. I leave my bedroom and go get coffee, do my morning thing or whatever. Just let your bed breathe. You've been in there sweating and shedding skin, farting and whatnot, who knows, drooling, who knows. Just let it air out. I never make my bed, pull the blanket back, let it air out. And I've read this in not just one, not two, but several different articles that it's not good to just make your bed. It actually is good to air it out. And the Europeans have been doing it forever, a night and a day. And like when you walk the streets, like when I was younger in Germany, you walk the streets and people usually had their like duvets hanging out the windows, pillows sitting on, and they would clean down their windowsills before they did all this, you know. But it makes a world of difference. And I leave you with that last piece of advice.